Quick heads up on a situation right now in Brighton. There is a smoke plume that can be seen from much of the metro area. That is a fire burning at a tire store on North Main Street. Brighton Fire says there have been some explosions heard in the area from inside that building. Homes nearby are being evacuated. South Adams Fire and Fort Lupton Fire have come in to help the Brighton firefighters. Our Brian Wendla's up there giving you a look at what exactly is happening on North Main Street, where firefighters have an active one on their hands. We'll keep an eye on this and let you know if anything significant changes in the next 30 minutes. Could the I-25 tanker crash and fire and shutdown have been prevented? It's a fair question, but it is also such a local news question, as if every bad thing that happens in the world could have been prevented, should have been prevented, if only someone was doing their job. An exclusive investigation tonight. Listen, fact is, like with anything, there are safety checks, there are measures, but nothing is foolproof. Take Greenwood Village, where the I-25 crash happened. Police there have 2 officers who are certified to inspect trucks. They hope to catch the problems before a crash. And they tell us that while we remember the terrible crashes, the spectacular video, these instances are actually quite rare.
We actually had a semi fly off of the overpass at Bellevue once and land on a car. Trucks can cause a more catastrophic accident. We really want that zero tolerance attitude, and that's why we do what we do. How many trucks do we have not crash because we are doing what we're doing?
Well, that's a very fair question. Here's what caught our attention on that mark. Greenwood Village police say that when they're able to check trucks, they find problems. They do twice monthly checkpoints. Last October, for instance, about half of the 31 trucks checked had so many violations that they were immediately taken off the road. Numbers like that, that's something that deserves our continued attention. We are finally getting hard numbers from state regulators on those mandated safety checks of oil and gas wells near homes and businesses in Colorado. 129 companies have reported in the information demanded by the governor following the house explosion in Firestone that killed 2 men. The state thinks there are still some reports yet to be filed. Energy companies next have to inspect all the flow lines, like the severed line near that home in Firestone. What's up, Colorado Mills? I see you there, hiding behind all the repair equipment. Getting straight answers out of that mall's owner, Simon Property Group, has been a fool's errand lately. But they have been emailing City of Lakewood employees emails that we can now show you thanks to an open records request.
The first email about the mall from the City of Lakewood came 24 hours after the storm.
You've got mail.
Lakewood Police Chief wanted to look at the damage to the police substation in the mall. A lot of these emails in the 2 weeks after the hailstorm are about repairs, setting up site visits, and polishing up a statement for the public. Then, on Monday, May 15th, we see this email from the Colorado Mills General Manager to the Lakewood City Manager with a letter to tenants saying that the mall likely would not reopen until November. They were not saying that publicly. 2 days later, when the letter was leaked to us, no one would confirm it was legit because, you know, transparency. That same day, the mall cheered some good news when the movie theater across from the mall announced it was ready to reopen. Also that day, a Denver Post reporter emailed with a question many of us were asking. Essentially, it's not like Colorado Mills had the only roof in town. Why did theirs fail? Didn't everyone get hit by the same giant hail? The next day, an email the GM wrote to the city included, "The good news is we are well on the road to recovery." 6 days later, a store owner invited us inside, allowing us to see that that road to recovery is a bumpy one indeed.
The organizers of Denver's 420 rally filed an appeal today to fight for their right to partay. Mayor Hancock has criticized that rally, saying it glorifies illegal public smoking of cannabis, criticized the noise, the trash left behind. Organizers say denying the permit for next year is really about a free speech violation by city leaders who just hate cannabis culture.
Haters are going to hate, Kyle, and I mean that is their nature, and there are people who hate us, and you know, we understand that. We understand we are not as popular as maybe, say, the Broncos, who staged a massive rally in that park a couple years ago, I recall. Broncos don't need First Amendment protection. We do.
My full conversation with attorney Rob Corey is spicy. He says some in the professional cannabis community want his 420 rally to disappear. He accused them of licking the boots of people in power to make money. We had compared the 420 rally to an orgy in the park. Here on Next, asked whether Denver would allow that. And, you know, Corey didn't disagree with the analogy. He then went on to compare nests to an orgy. So what I'm saying is you should really watch our full conversation on Next YouTube channel. Bald eagles, they're not endangered anymore. They came off the list a decade ago. But man, you mess with bald eagles and people get angry because you're messing with America. Our Nelson Garcia looks at one community's reaction to a proposed gravel pit near a well-known eagle's nest.
When he's not taking pictures, he's taking pressure. Dana Bovey researches bald eagles and their behavior around Boulder County. Bovey is worried about a perch called the hygiene nest.
This is one of the most popular nests in Boulder County.
The concern is renewed plans to turn already permitted land into a sand and gravel mining operation by the Martin Marietta Corporation.
It does include the area right around the nest that we're seeing in the background there.
Julie Michaelis is the land manager for Martin Marietta.
We have no intention of taking down the tree that the eagles are nesting in, and we're working close with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife to implement a plan to protect the eagle.
But Bovey worries about what lives around the nest as well.
There are prairie dogs that I believe that this particular nest depend upon that could be disturbed.
We're evaluating all of the wildlife out there and trying to implement a plan that protects them as much as we can.
Start to allow the disturbance of these nesting birds, especially with the rate of growth and development in our area. You know, we're looking at problems.
Consideration is what Bovey hopes for at this stage.
So they've got a nice crown.
Taking pictures while taking pressure, he believes, off of the eagle's nest. For Next, I'm Nelson Garcia.
Martin Marietta typically mines its land in 35-acre sections, restoring plots as they go. And Martin Marietta's land manager pointed out the eagles did move in after the permit was granted for that parcel, but eagles can't read, so I'm not exactly sure how they were supposed to know that.
You know what they say, the family that archaeologically explores together stays together.
There's a really good chance that if you do come out and try and learn how to dig, you will find something.
It's actually a cool new way to get your hands dirty this summer. And a veteran's war story about the woman he left behind. Next.
We have a new view for you of the fire that's burning on North Main Street in Brighton right now. This is a tire shop. We also have some new information, and it is good news. The fire department says that the fire has visibly decreased in size. They are all over this thing, but obviously you can see the amount of smoke that is kicking off of that tire store and how dark it is. It is quite visible even with our dark skies around the metro area tonight. We'll let you know if we learn anything new that is of significance in the next 20 minutes.
Sunshine and showers this first Friday in June. I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabin. The storm's non-severe, tracking off to the east and producing heavy rain and a lot of lightning as well. Our high close to 80 in the city, a number we'll see again tomorrow. A line of showers pushing to the southeast on the plains, dropping about a half an inch of rain in about a half hour's time. Flash flood watch out for extreme eastern Colorado, and now a flood warning just outside of Flagler and just outside of the Sterling area. That's where the active weather will be during the overnight time period. This front tracks east, and because it's a slow mover, a little bit of low-level moisture means tomorrow may not be as dry as originally thought. Could start off with a little bit of cloud cover and fog. We bring in a few showers in the afternoon, non-severe storms, marking Sunday as the warmer, drier day now of the two-day weekend coming up. And in Denver for tonight, can't rule out an additional shower, rumble of thunder. It'll be clearing with a low of 51. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine, a few light showers, highs near 80. Sunday looks terrific, mid-80s with sunshine. I think our strongest thunderstorm day will be Tuesday of next week. The potential for severe weather moving into the first few days, and just a beautiful evening out there tonight.
Kathy, thanks. Attention dads and people who like making dad jokes. You have the perfect opportunity to round up your family or friends and ask loudly, can you dig it? Denver Museum of Nature and Science is going to start up tours this summer of Magic Mountain in Golden. You get to dig for stuff there. That's a technical term for archaeology or something like that. 9 News photojournalist Byron Reed got to check it out.
When interesting things are discovered in Golden,
There used to be an amusement park there called Magic Mountain.
a lot about the past comes to light.
It was in the late 50s when the first people who excavated here, they came and they renamed the site because the Magic Mountain Incorporation owned this land.
This land that holds history from a long time ago.
We know that there are people living here at least 7,000 years ago.
Digging and collecting here dates back to the late 1800s. This site is considered to be the largest of many former campsites in the area.
And we know there are tons and tons of campsites all up and down this particular region. You can really get a sense of it when you start looking up the Front Range.
And giving a sense is what this archaeologist wants to do. She's part of a group that will be giving free public tours to explain the site's history and even let visitors do some excavating on their own.
We don't really give those opportunities as archaeologists to the public, and this is just such a fun chance to get your hands dirty.
The group just hopes to preserve what they find before it's too late.
We can tell the story of what happened here, but if someone comes along and just starts picking things up, we lose that information.
Interesting information discovered today.
So many people don't realize the rich, deep history that we have right here in our backyard.
As a way of raising awareness and protecting our past. For Next, I'm Byron Reed.
Tours start a week from tomorrow. When we return, a love story that spans 7 centuries. All the veterans aboard a recent Rocky Mountain honor flight to Washington had war stories. Many were reticent to share, and that's okay. Their life stories are also worth hearing while we still have the opportunity. Mac McClure, who lives in Lakewood, left his sweetheart behind when he enlisted for World War II.
Thank you for your service, Mac McClure. Welcome to D.C.
Mac McClure is a man pulled at by invisible forces.
Isn't that great? All them signs, all these people out here, I can't believe them.
He's felt drawn to this place to make this honor flight journey for years.
Really a great trip.
This memorial is for you.
Thank you.
That same pull toward duty, responsibility.
This is just gorgeous.
It led Mac to enlist as a young man from the Midwest, and it sent him hurtling into the worst of war.
I went on to Normandy Beachhead on D-Day, but as far as the fighting and all that kind of stuff, I just put all that behind me. I can't dwell on that stuff.
But grand sights and good company remind Mac that not every day spent far from home is a bad one.
This is really outstanding. Great.
But every day spent far from home means feeling an invisible force pulling you back.
Oh, getting to come home. I was over there for 4 years.
The lucky guys over there had a girl waiting at home. The luckiest among them today still do.
It's just I wish my wife could be here and she can see all this because she would really enjoy it.
Of all the invisible forces that tug at Mac McClure, only one in his whole life has been irresistible. Betty.
My wife is in a nursing home, but she's doing real good.
Okay, guys, here we go. It's a B. B for Betty's.
Okay.
Betty
All right.
is a force indeed.
I bet he's having fun.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Betty's always been comfortable flying solo without the gunner she fell in love with before the war.
Now, I have my interests, and he has his interests. And we allow each other to do those things.
You enjoy your day. Oh, thank you.
And I think it's why we've been together for so long.
He made her promise she'd see other people while he was in the service.
I didn't mind it. It let me do my thing.
Don't misunderstand.
Shoot a couple more with mine, would you please?
She wishes that Mac was here.
Yeah, I miss him. Let's see here.
But no time apart can compare to their first.
This is him.
4 years gone.
Well, I hate being apart, but my life was changing too.
She graduated school, took nursing classes. Mac's letters home grew less frequent, then stopped.
The period that we didn't hear from him for months, I was really worried. Really worried.
Her faith always told her Mac was coming home, and he did. But they were different people after 4 years, and they decided they shouldn't get married after all.
We just didn't know each other.
They were married 2 weeks later.
Well, we just fell in love all over again.
Mac and Betty have always had that irresistible kind of love. Married 72 years and counting.
We've had a good life.
Their bond stretched clear to Europe without breaking. It's been tested since.
Hi guys, I'm Mac.
There were the years when Mac worked 2 jobs, long stretches on the road, but Mac always hurried home.
And he usually just says, hi, babe.
Then just recently, Betty had her fall and landed in a nursing home.
We're not happy with the fact that we're not together all the time. The fact that I am here. And I will be here the rest of my life.
But this is Betty, who sees adventure in adversity.
You know, it takes more energy to be sad and mad than it does to smile. And thank the Lord for what you have.
She's in good hands. I'll give her a call after a while.
And this is Mac, who always comes home.
Yes, he comes every day, except when you have a lot of snow.
Let me see if I can call her. Now, let me get Betty. There she is.
Yes.
Now, let's see if she's on here.
Mac is coming home.
There he is. Hello.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi. Are you having a good time?
Oh, yeah, I'm having a ball. I'll tell you, there's no way to explain what this is.
Oh, good. Well, you can tell me all about it when you get back.
Tell everybody I said hello.
Okay. Now I'm looking forward to you getting back.
Okay, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I love you.
Love you.
2 days later, Betty and Mac are together again.
And I bet you look younger than any of them.
I was the best looking one there.
Yeah, I know you're the best.
When Mac came back to Betty after the war, he didn't want to talk about what he'd seen.
Oh, I tell you, the flight was good. Oh, we just had a ball.
What a difference a lifetime makes, and a chance to be among brothers during peacetime.
But I didn't have any trouble sleeping, I'll tell you.
Woo! Mac might never stop talking.
Was your flight good?
Huh?
Was your flight good?
Boy, the one going over was pretty rough.
Mac and Betty's long life together has not been without trouble and loss. Betty's health now means that they live apart, but remain inseparable.
I mean, we were busy, because you don't stop from the time you get up until you go to bed. You just don't stop.
Their love is a reminder of what every veteran aboard the Honor Flight will tell you, that they were fortunate to have come home from war so they could live a lifetime of highs and lows.
I could go back and go on that again. I really could.
Well, I'm so glad you had such a good time.
A lifetime capped off with a soaring high.
Okay, hon. Just still. I'll see you later.
And a second homecoming.
See you later, sweetie.
Okay.
That's twice as sweet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mac and Betty are part of our special report tomorrow night, Far From Home, the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight. The special is the work of our photojournalist Chris Hansen, whose stories often appear here on Next. Far From Home airs tomorrow night at 9:30 on Channel 20. We will have your feedback and Friday's good news, which takes us to a place where they share it every day. Next. Our good news this Friday comes from a coffee shop where reasons to smile are plastered right on the wall. At Frothy Coffee Shop in Idaho Springs, the owner put up a board where people can share good thoughts. It could be news of a new job on a napkin or perhaps a recent engagement on a sugar packet. Doesn't matter so long as the message is positive. It is such a hit, the owner plans to expand the board full of good news. And Lori emails in just a moment ago to say that photojournalist Chris Hansen's story about Mac and Betty and their reunions after the war and the honor flight were making her eyes sweat. Well, if you're into that kind of eye sweating, I'd encourage you to watch the full special. Far From Home airs 9:30 Saturday night on Channel 20. Please tune in or set your DVR. You'll meet some American heroes and lots of other great folks. See you next time.